Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mama Birds if you're new, and my name is Robin. Today we are going to make some breakfast. This is my go-to pancake recipe. I've shared it before. I can link it below. And I make this pancake mix ahead of time in bulk so that I can have a quick and awesome breakfast that's homemade and easy to throw together on hand. First, I'm going to show you the grocery haul that we picked up last night, and then we will get started on breakfast. So this is a bit of a bigger haul for us. We don't typically buy this many of things on a regular basis, but this item was on sale and it was $4 off a box. So I actually got 4 of these Kirkland soft and chewy granola bars. They're not the best option, and I would love to be able to make my own, but I'm just not there. So we also got some cereal for Mike, some Cheerios for my kid, bananas. Honey was on sale. This was an executive discount item, and so we picked up some honey. I didn't actually need that right now, but I figure that these smaller containers are going to work better for my pantry rather than my large container and then having to transfer it over. And the price difference between the big one and these was exactly the same using the sale price. So I just grabbed one of them for now, and then I think what I might do is transfer the honey from the large container into one of these small ones and then go through the rest of the small ones. I'm not sure yet, but anyway, I just like the size of them. And for my pantry size, this is going to just work perfectly. Eggs, this 2 layers. So this is a 60 pack of large eggs, I think. And this package is just over $20, I think. Yeah, bananas. Bananas are a staple. We'll have those for breakfast. And milk is a staple. We'll have that one for breakfast too. We'll use that to make pancakes. This was an item that I picked up for Mike. The Costco is the best price, even if it's every day and somebody else has it on sale. I think this was $13.99 for like 48 packages of the Mr. Noodles. So that is the haul. I did also get a few things from Walmart. These are organic popsicles. They're just like little freezies. I didn't mind the ingredients in them, so I ended up trying them out last week, and we really liked them. And then when we went back to get a couple more, because it's just been so hot, so I'm just looking for options. They were on sale. This bag was 87 cents, I think. So we ended up getting actually quite a few of these. There's a couple on the counter here. There's a whole bunch in this bag, as you can see. And then there's more actually on my floor. But we ended up getting, I think, 15 or 16 of these popsicle things. And they're gonna be fantastic. And they're shelf stable right now because they were actually on a shelf, not in the freezer. So I can keep them on the shelf and then throw them in the freezer as needed. But anyway, here's the grocery haul. We're gonna get started on pancakes after I put all this away. Before I'm even able to set the camera down, as you see here, my kiddo is already ready to go. So this is the angle that you're getting. I moved the bowl back over so that you could actually see what we were doing, but he was so ready to go. So I was like, well, I hope that the camera is recording, and sure enough, it did. So here we are cracking eggs, making pancakes in the morning. It's just after 8, and we usually try and have breakfast done and ready on the plates by, about this time. And it was just a slow morning, so that's how it goes. So I cracked one egg and then help him crack another one, and we get started on breakfast. If you're a new mama out there, I would love to encourage you to do this with your child, but it is very difficult. And if someone says it isn't, then they're lying to you. It is so hard to get your child involved in this stuff, in my opinion, just because, the mental load of being a mom and, trying to keep up with everything is just so difficult. So this forces you to slow down, and it forces your body and your mind to get to, that toddler level. So if you are able to include your child with any sort of cooking task, I absolutely encourage you to do so, but just be gentle with yourself and know that it's not easy for everybody, and it isn't easy for me. Also know that mistakes are going to happen. Like you just saw there, my kiddo cracked the egg and literally dropped it onto the counter and down to the floor. And that's okay, because that's kind of the whole point. They're learning, they're trying to figure things out, and it is not simple. So I'm helping with him with some of the wet ingredients here, the milk and the oil and vanilla and eggs. And we're at the stage now where he's mixing and putting all the ingredients into the bowl. But one thing that he is starting to learn is, the order of operations. So he knows that the eggs go first. He knows that the milk goes next. And he actually is ready for the next step before I am. And he knows that this dry pancake mix is now where we're at. And he is so ready. It's so funny how they learn and they know exactly what's going to happen as long as you are consistent and patient. He's scooping the dry mix into the wet mix as I'm stirring. It's obviously not exactly measured, so you have to be patient. You have to, kind of have a feeling for what it is that you're doing, and just take some deep breaths and work through it with him. And it's okay if this entire batch of pancake mix ends up on the floor before I can get it to the pan. It's okay. And just him doing this for, the 5 minutes that it took us to put this pancake mix together is so developmentally important. And it's so wonderful to see now, watching this video back and, doing this voiceover right now. It's just so wonderful to see, me being a mom, as well as my child, learning and developing on his own with a little bit of help from mom. So we get the pancake mix into the bowl, give it a good mix. And this is kind of like the end of his attention span. So for the most part, I end up doing the rest of it for us in this day. Did you eat it?
Yum.
Okay. I couldn't help but keep that audio in there for you guys. Hopefully got a little giggle out of it, but he was totally disgusted by the texture when he put his finger in it, but has now since realized that he can taste the batter and it is delicious. So, there's definitely raw egg in there, and I don't necessarily recommend it, but this is how I use my frozen blueberries in pancakes. I just take some, hot water and I put it in a cup with the frozen blueberries. I don't smash them or mush them around. Kiddo has a taste of a couple of the frozen blueberries. He loves them. If you haven't eaten a frozen blueberry, please do so because they're delicious. We also like to just put some milk on the frozen blueberries, and it actually turns the milk into almost like a light ice cream. They're delicious. So this is the pan that I'm cooking them on this day. When I make the pancake bites like this, I'm going to show you how I do it. This is how I do it. I have since changed from using a fork to a spoon. I've found that if I just use a teaspoon, it becomes much more difficult and realistic for the size of pancake that I'm trying to go for. And I'm just trying to go for a bite size. I mean, for my kid, it's going to be more than one bite, but I put 1 or 2 blueberries into each little mini pancake, flip them over when they're ready, and, we just put them to the side. I also end up putting eggs on this, or cooking eggs on this pan as well, and I found it really helpful to prop up the front of the pan because it has a natural incline on it, or decline, where all of the grease or anything like that on the pan that you're, depending on what it is that you're cooking, will actually drip forward into a catch tray. So I prop up the, front two legs so that the actual egg mixture itself, scrambled eggs, or just, hard cracked fried eggs, won't drip forward, and it's on a more of a level surface. If you are looking for a snack idea for your kiddos, I find lunchtime the most difficult time to figure out what we're going to eat. This is a great option too because they last in the fridge, so you can always make extra in the morning and you can have them for lunch the next day or the same day. And it's a great way to get some extra fruit or, pancakes or whatever for some food into your kid for a lunchtime snack or even just a daytime snack, this is just like a happy go-to, always a favorite in my house. So definitely a great idea. Here's me giving him a bit of a distraction because he was still joining me making these pancakes. I just gave him that bulb of garlic and he ended up picking it apart a little bit and then it ended up on the floor too. So use what you have. I've found measuring spoons are really great. Any sort of, plastic container or, Ziploc container or something like that. Bags are really great as long as the size is appropriate for your child and, just kind of giving them some distractions while trying to also keep them involved, of course, when it's safe to do so. But he's just so happy to be, just up at mom's level trying to make some pancakes, and it's so wonderful to watch this and see him be excited about it. That being said, I would absolutely welcome ideas for lunchtime. I've kind of been on repeat for a little bit. Our go-tos are typically fresh veggies or fruit and some sort of like crackers or maybe a slice of toast or, something like that. We have had a couple of grilled cheese sandwiches. He doesn't really do soup or anything like that. He just turned 2, so he's not really into soup, but I'm definitely looking for some ideas for lunchtime. Please help me. Let me know what you make for your kiddo for lunch on a regular basis. What's your go-to? Because I just feel like I need to change it up. And maybe I don't. I was talking to another mom too, because my kid has a tough time with different proteins. He's not really a fan of chicken or steak or ground meat. He doesn't like the texture, or he doesn't necessarily like the flavor. I've tried it plain, I've tried it, seasoned or whatever. And he just doesn't seem to be into protein. So I'm really having a difficult time. And I was talking it over with another mama, and I was realizing, what, my kid does eat protein. It's just in different ways. So he likes cottage cheese and he likes, hummus and beans and things like that. So I just have to really remind myself, and I guess I'm reminding you too, that, sometimes what we think might not be working, it actually is working. He is getting what he needs. He is a happy child. He loves certain foods and, those are his go-tos, but he just doesn't like some other foods. And I was trying to remember too, that, he is a child. And when I was a kid, I absolutely detest bell peppers, but now I love them. So it's, a taste bud development situation, I think. And, I just wanted to remind you, because I needed to remind myself in that moment that, their taste buds will change. And if something's not working today, it might work tomorrow. So just keep trying, just keep doing your best. And, just trust that, your child is getting what he needs if you are doing the best that you can, because that is enough. So there you saw me finishing up those eggs. I've now since unplugged this pan, so it's starting to cool down already, which is totally fine. And that's exactly how I cook my eggs. You can see the time here, you guys. It's now, almost 20 to 9. So making breakfast took me almost 40 minutes with my kid. And had I not made the breakfast with him, it probably would have taken me like 10 minutes. So again, give yourself grace if you're including your child in your breakfast, but look how delicious this is. And we made it together as, our little family. Here's me just, giving a little taste test. I figured you'd like to see the inside of the pancake. All right, so that's it. That's the recipe. That's how I make it. We always try and do something different, like adding fruit or cinnamon or something like that to flavor the pancakes, but we have had them plain as well. So give this recipe a try. I can link the video below where I make my pancake mix in bulk for you, so you can give that a try and have it on hand. It's super convenient, super easy, and like you saw, my toddler knows exactly what to do and how much to scoop. It's so funny. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.